Is the coronavirus and all of the overnight developments. 3 states starting the process of reopening non-essential businesses on Friday. Georgia, Oklahoma, and Alaska opening their doors to customers with new guidelines in place. And in the next week, nearly a dozen other states will start to ease their restrictions as they slowly start the reopening process.
Like and subscribe.
The death toll here in the U.S. has now risen to more than 51,000, with the number of cases hovering above 900,000. Last week at this time, there were 700,000 cases. But thankfully, there is some hopeful news from New York State, the epicenter of this outbreak, where the death toll has dropped to its lowest level in weeks.
Our team is again covering all of it this morning across the country and across the world. We want to begin with NBC's Sam Brock. He is in Atlanta, where Georgia is getting back to business. Sam, good morning.
Peter, Kristen, good morning. Within the last 24 hours, the governor here has given the green light to barbershops and salons, spas, massage parlors. Business owners right now trying to figure out how this is going to work.
It ain't going to work. It's just going to keep spreading.
No more than 10 people inside at any given point. Everything has to be sanitized.
Bad idea.
And Peter and Kristen, caution tape down here where customers would normally be sitting.
This morning, Georgia, a national flashpoint. Stores that were forced to close for weeks because of the deadly coronavirus now open for business, drawing controversy.
The fact that salons can be open, I don't know why that's essential.
Salons, spas, tattoo parlors, gyms, restaurants, and movie theaters, among other businesses, all getting the green light. At the Thomas Barbershop in Atlanta, temperature checks and employee masks are new, with the owner of this half-century-old business encouraged.
We're cleaning our chairs, we're cleaning our backboards, our scissors, our combs. It is better today than it's ever been.
The strength of the blueprint, based on social distancing requirements, and Governor Kemp saying he's informed by data and public health recommendations and hospital capacity. But Georgia's COVID-19 cases have actually been going up throughout the week, when federal guidelines say they should be going down.
I didn't like to see spas at this early stage. Spas, beauty parlors, tattoo parlors, no.
Presidential criticism for Kemp coming as states like Alaska open up restaurants and retail. In Oklahoma, it's salons and spas, where some owners enforce strict rules.
I want people to be able to come and get a good haircut, not leave with COVID.
Even in Texas, where stay-at-home orders remain in effect, this salon owner isn't fazed.
It is their personal choice as an American to come into the salon if they want to, and they have that right.
Americans from Wisconsin to Georgia are exercising their right to protest the plans.
We're not disposable just because, we're low-income people.
Employees worried about the risk of return, as some owners, like Brant Gully at Spring Cinema and Tap House, will not bring back his theater when eligible Monday.
It didn't then, and it doesn't now feel yet like it's the responsible thing to do.
Yet with safeguards in place, other business leaders say the cost of staying closed is also considerable.
What's the worst evil? Everybody staying at home and killing the economy. There's a fine line there.
And on Monday, movie
It's
theaters
rather
and restaurants
to kill
will
the
also be
economy
opening,
than
but in the
have
face of
millions
intense
of people
criticism
dead.
From President Trump this week, Governor Kemp coming out with 39 new guidelines for which restaurants would be opening for dine-in services. Peter?
Sam, you're on the ground there. How many people came out on Friday to these newly reopened businesses?
For the businesses that are open, a lot. This barbershop does not usually take appointments. There were people coming around the clock. They had to set them for next week. There were so many because you can't have more than 10 people inside. I will say this, though, Peter. I probably went to about 30 different businesses across the board. A handful of them were open. Most at this point are putting in phases to figure out how it's going to work, but have not yet opened their doors. Peter and Kristen?
Yeah, it's still clearly a work in progress there. Sam Brock in Atlanta. Sam, thank you very much.
President Trump is facing intense scrutiny after his comments earlier this week about whether or not ingesting disinfectant could help kill coronavirus in the body. On Friday, the president held a daily briefing, but left before reporters could ask him any questions, which is a first for him in this crisis. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell is at the White House with the very latest. Kelly, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kristen. President Trump has said he's just trying to offer up ideas to get rid of the virus, even though some of his suggestions about light or chemicals used for medicinal purposes have drawn ridicule and warnings from the scientific community. And the briefings that he's made a centerpiece of his daily schedule are at issue, with advisors and allies saying he should do fewer, shorter briefings, a tactic that showed up on Friday. After boasting about TV ratings and sparring with reporters for weeks.
You guys ever stop? You want to keep going?
A twist on the drama Friday. Brief comments, and then President Trump headed for the door, taking no questions.
Mr. President.
Earlier in the Oval Office, the president tried to deflect his widely condemned suggestion that disinfectant could be considered for internal use in COVID patients.
I was asking a sarcastic and a very sarcastic question to the reporters in the room about disinfectant on the inside. But it does kill it, and it would kill it on the hands, and that would make things much better.
But no sarcasm was evident when the president turned to his medical experts, not reporters, to suggest they study ingesting disinfectant.
And is there a way we can do something like that?
Look at him, look at him. Look at him.
Injection inside.
Look how stupid he is.
Almost a cleaning. As you see, it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of those.
The president's idea followed a Homeland Security official who discussed UV light and disinfectant killing the virus on surfaces, not inside people. The president pressed Dr. Birx, who softly shot that down.
Deborah, have you ever heard of that?
That is a treatment. Friday, the FDA also issued new caution against the outpatient use of a drug the president has repeatedly promoted, hydroxychloroquine, citing reports of serious heart rhythm problems in COVID-19 patients. The FDA is conducting clinical trials, and the president signed the latest relief package to aid small businesses, which includes billions for hospitals and testing.
So, Kelly, there is no briefing on the public schedule today. Moving forward, could we actually see fewer briefings? Is this going to be a new strategy now?
Well, it seems, Kristen, that the advice the president has been getting for some time, going back a few weeks, not just revolving around this controversy, had been that fewer briefings, shorter briefings would make sense because the president was at risk of being overexposed. At the same time, there are advisors who are saying, as the country is beginning to reopen, this crisis approach of a daily briefing should be reduced in order to give the country confidence about reopening. So those are some of the conversations that our collective reporting has shown behind the scenes. And as you point out, there is no briefing on the schedule today. Now, in the past, we've seen the president add one. Will he do that today? Based on this new advice, perhaps not. Kristen?
Yeah, we've seen him change his mind before. All right, Kelly O'Donnell, great reporting as always. Thank you.